What is up, bros, and welcome to the All Bros podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And at this point, a new intro is just not going to happen. So,
oh my gosh, we're so stupid.
One day.
Gosh,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Gosh, I knew there was something we were forgetting, dude. Like, it's every freaking week. I'm just like, God, like, anytime we're doing, like, the whole outline and everything, I'm just like, we're missing something. I just don't remember what. And then we start recording, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Let's hope next week we actually remember. We'll see.
Probably not.
Eventually. But anyway, welcome to the All Bros podcast. On this week's episode of the podcast, we'll be talking about some 4K Spotlight. We got a movie coming out that both of us really, really enjoyed. It was actually a movie that we broke down last month. It'll be coming out. We got nothing for Through the Wall. We did get the first trailer for Hocus Pocus 2, but there's really not a lot to talk about. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for it. Like, holy shit, it's amazing to see those three back together again. But
yeah, but nothing much in ways of, like, talking about other than being like, hey, it happened.
Yeah, exactly. I do like the teaser at the end when the guy's just like, are you looking for the stage? And she's like, of course. That was great. So after we talk about that 4K Spotlight item, I don't know why I said it like that, we'll be moving on to our headliner of the evening, which will be finally, God, this is like, we've been talking about breaking this movie down for what, like a month or so? We'll be breaking down DreamWorks The Bad Guys.
Hell yeah.
So, Caleb, what do you say we get started?
I say let's do it.
Hey guys, I'm Crash, host of the podcast Crash and Taz's Movie Cellar. On our show, me and my co-host pick a new movie each week and rate each movie on a few categories that we think are important to making a great movie. After we rate the movie, it gets a final rating, and that lands it somewhere on our cellar scale, where it will get labeled as either a well, premium, or a top shelf film. Catch us on platforms like Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and more. And don't forget to follow us on social media. On Instagram as Crash and Taz's Movie Cellar. It's Crash, the letter N, Taz Movie Cellar, with underscores in between each word. And on Facebook, Crash and Taz Movie Cellar, where you as a listener can suggest movies for us to rate, and also give us some constructive criticism to make the show more entertaining. Overall, don't forget to follow or subscribe, and rate and review us, and get ready for an entertaining show with us. See you guys then.
Alright, so with 4K Spotlight, we have Everything, Everywhere, All at Once come to both 4K and Blu-ray, and we actually have an exclusive. And I think I am going to go out and pick this version up on Tuesday, if I can find it, because I can't express how much I love this version. So it's a Walmart exclusive, and it's just an exclusive slipcover, but it's amazing. Because it has freaking googly eyes just all over the slipcover. That's what the slipcover is. It's just googly eyes.
Nice.
Right? Oh, I need this in my life. So yeah. Other than that, that's the only exclusive for this movie. But if you guys haven't checked this movie out, please do yourself a favor. It's an amazing movie. Like I said, me and Caleb enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I honestly say that we loved this movie. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, do yourselves a frickin' favor and go watch this wonderful film.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, that is so good. So good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for 4K Spotlight. Well, sorry, I did forget another one. God damn it! Because
are you shitting me? It's every week with you.
Shut up, okay?
Every freaking week. Is that it?
Hey,
that's it.
Hey, in my defense, you say new releases. What if this is just like a movie that's already been released, but it's finally coming to 4K? Does that still count?
No.
God damn I feel this was a big enough movie to announce it. Edge of Tomorrow is coming to 4K.
It absolutely was not worth bringing up. That movie was not good.
Really?
Have you seen it?
I pre-ordered it. No, and I pre-ordered the Steelbook.
It's an action-packed Groundhog's Day, which is cool, I guess.
That sounds awesome.
It wasn't my favorite. So, I mean, maybe you'll like it better than I did, but...
No, was it? We will see. I'll still be sending you the code, though.
Fair. And I'll still take it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course you will. It's a free freaking movie.
Can't argue there.
Fair, yeah. Okay, so that is it. Wait, they're releasing Okja? I didn't know that. Yeah, you know that Netflix movie, Okja? Did you ever watch that?
No.
It's like about the girl and the elephant.
The shit?
Oh, yeah, this movie came out in like 2017. I think it's the first time it's coming to Blu-ray and 4K at that matter. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it's the first time it's ever been released on Blu-ray. That's freaking awesome. And I think it's it's part of the Criterion Collection. So, if you guys have wanted to own Okja on a physical format, here you go. God damn it! I missed another movie. This is actually a new release. The sequel to the Downton Abbey movie, Downton Abbey: A New Era. That's coming out as well.
Jeez, you're just killing it this episode, dude.
I am, and that also. Wait, I don't think that has a steelbook. I think it's just a 4K and Blu-ray release. And then also, I guess, and this is an exclusive, you can get a limited edition gift set that is just Blu-ray and DVD. It comes with collectible photo book postcards and a tea strainer. Okay. Because I want a tea strainer. Yeah, because I want a tea strainer with my Blu-ray set.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you guys go. If you wanted to pick up Downton Abbey, A New Era, definitely get that gift set. Okay, I promise that is it. There's no other new releases coming out.
Shit, dude.
That are worth talking about. Shut your ass. So like we said, we have nothing for Through the Wall. So, Caleb, what do you say we get right into our main event?
I say let's do it.
All right, so for this week's main event, we're bringing that back, I guess.
Dude, what is up with you?
I don't really know. I really don't. I'll let you know. But for this week's headliner, we will be breaking down DreamWorks' The Bad Guys. So, Caleb, do you want to let everyone know how we break down movies on this podcast?
I would love to. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to I just had a total brain fart moment right there.
It's not only me.
To come to a final All Bros letter grade. So the 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All those numbers get magically added up in our algorithm and spit out a letter grade for us to compare this to other movies that we have discussed or done this system for.
Yeah.
So with that, if you have not seen The Bad Guys, go check it out. as of the day this releases... Yeah, when this releases, you should be able to go check it out on Peacock. And then if you're listening to this any time, obviously within a 4-month window of this coming out, it should be on Netflix after that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Or you could also buy the physical version of it. It's up to you.
Or you could do that, I guess. But those are the two ways that you can watch it right now. Or right now. Technically, it's only one way, or I guess you can buy the physical copy. That's like one way to watch it. Or you could go.
Because, physical media is still a thing, Caleb.
Not for long.
Don't even talk that way. Don't even talk that way.
Dude, how long do you have to wait to buy the physical copy after a movie comes out?
I'm not going to discuss that.
Yeah, you can go to hell. Anyway, if you've
I
not seen this movie,
going there, so
if you have not seen this movie, go check it out. Then come back and listen to our breakdown. But if you don't mind this movie getting spoiled, hey, we're your guys. So Rose is about to spoil the entire freaking movie for you. So take it away.
Here we go. All right. In greater Los Angeles, where humans and anthropomorphic animals coexist, and I have to say, they really don't explain this that well. They don't even explain it at all. It's kind of just like, oh, hey. It's kind of just like, hey, they coexist. That's all you need to know.
I'm pretty sure I saw, like, normal dogs in the background, too. So,
it's just shit.
Yeah, it's like they have random-ass anthropomorphic animals, and then some that aren't.
Yeah, like the cat.
Yep.
The cat didn't talk. There's a cat that literally is just a cat. It meows. That's it, just like a cat.
It's kind of one of those goofy Pluto situations.
Yes! There we go. That is a perfect way to put it. Don't get me started on that. Anyway. In greater Los Angeles, where humans and anthropomorphic animals coexist, the bad guys, a gang of infamous criminal animals led by the cool-headed Mr. Wolf, commit brazen thefts. I think I used that word right. Is it brazen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Brazen thefts and successfully evade the authorities due to the public's interpretation of them as inherently bad animals. After being insulted by Governor Diane Foxington on live television, Wolf convinces his gang to pull off a heist to steal a valuable award called the Golden Dolphin from guinea pig philanthropist Professor Marmalade during his inauguration at a gala. During the heist, Wolf inadvertently helps an elderly woman and is praised for the good deed, leading to Wolf becoming afflicted by his wrongdoings. After the gang is exposed and arrested as a result of a failed attempted escape, Wolf persuades Marmalade with Foxington's approval to reform them, planning to take advantage of the pretense to steal the award again. Marmalade invites the gang to his home, but they struggle with his lessons, unable to adapt to good behavior. After a heist for good to rescue a herd of guinea pigs from a research lab fails due to Wolf's second-in-command, Mr. Snake, eating them, Foxington decides to call off the experiment, but relents when Wolf confesses that he despises being hated for his species, where she admits she understands and has hope for him. Wolf contemplates the matter and finds himself rescuing a cat from a tree, which Marmalade records and publishes, turning the public image of the gang around. However, Snake fears that he is losing touch with his friend. When the gang execute a new heist to steal the award again during a gala, the Wolf cannot bring himself to finish the plan. Suddenly, a meteorite on display is stolen, causing the gang to be blamed for its theft. When they are arrested, Marmalade meets them in private and reveals that he stole the meteorite and has planned for the gang to take the blame. And he mentions he was the old woman that Wolf had helped. In prison, Wolf explains to his gang that he doesn't want to be a criminal anymore and that they can be better. But Snake refuses, believing that the world will never see them as anything other than monsters. Their fight is interrupted when the Crimson Paw, a notorious criminal, rescues them, revealing herself to be Foxington, who reformed when she attempted to steal the I almost said the golden pineapple. The golden dolphin herself. I don't know why I thought of that. Upon reaching safety, the gang abandons Wolf for betraying them, but when they return to their hideout, they find it completely emptied of their loot, as Wolf revealed its location to Foxington early at the gala as compensation for his crimes. After Snake willingly gives the childish Mr. Shark his last possession, a push pop, out of kindness, the others realize that they can change their ways and proceed to help Wolf. However, Snake denies it and abandons them to ally with Marmalade, who plans to use the meteorite to power a mind control device to hypnotize an army of guinea pigs into stealing charity funds. Meanwhile, Wolf and Foxington break into Marmalade's home to steal the meteorite, only to be captured by Marmalade and Snake. They are rescued by the remainder of the gang, then steal the meteorite and proceed to foil Marmalade's heist. They arrive at the police station to turn in the meteorite until they decide to bring Snake back despite his betrayal. During the chase, Marmalade betrays Snake as an advantage. I'm going to start that sentence over again. During the chase, Marmalade betrays Snake as an advantage. The gang risk their lives to save him, and Marmalade steals the meteorite back. After rescuing Snake and destroying Marmalade's mind control helmet, the gang surrenders to the authorities to prevent Foxington from revealing her former criminal past. Marmalade attempts to take credit for recovering the meteorite, but is revealed to be a fake planted by Snake, who had faked his defection. He switched it for a meteorite-shaped lamp and overcharged the real one inside Marmalade's basement, causing it to violently implode the entire manor from afar. When the lamp meteorite falls on Marmalade, a diamond he stole from Foxington falls from his suit, which authorities recognize as having been stolen by Crimson Paw years ago. Implicated as the Crimson Paw, Marmalade is arrested and his credibility is destroyed. 1 year later, the gang is released from prison in light of their good behavior, partnering up with Foxington to begin their new crime-fighting careers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Super convoluted plan.
Just a little bit.
But I think that just kind of goes with this Ocean 11 knockoff.
I wouldn't say knockoff. I'd say Ocean's 11 for kids. Isn't that how you put it?
It's basically animated Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Or 12, or whichever one you want to
and it
say.
Makes it even better. What makes it even better is freaking when people kept telling Wolf, "Do not pull the Clooney on me." Some shit like that. That was freaking hilarious. I'm like, okay, that's a nice nod to the Ocean films. Yeah,
you know exactly what you're doing.
Yep. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm loving this.
Yeah. It was the story here was pretty decent. Like, there was some times here where it started to drag a little bit. Like, I think the whole goodness training fell a little short in terms of the pacing that they were going for at the beginning.
Yeah, I agree, because literally it felt like it was just that whole I don't know, like the only one that's like really expanded on is like when they're trying to save the cat from the tree, and I hate that they mark it as like, oh, it was it was a team effort, they saved the cat. I'm like, no, it was just Wolf.
Yeah,
that kind of annoyed me. No, the others didn't do shit.
Yeah, they didn't. They wanted nothing to do with that damn cat, and yet they all get the credit for it. And then suddenly, like, seriously. One video of Wolf doing this, and then they're like, "Oh, they're reformed." Like,
yeah,
what?
They love you guys. No, they should only be loving Wolf. Nothing against the other guys, but he's the one that did the selfless act.
Yep. So, I mean, there were just. Honestly, there were issues all around with story. I mean, for who this movie's for, being like young kids and maybe tweens, it's not bad. it's one that I'd feel comfortable sitting my child in front of and just kind of like leaving the room.
That's fair.
Um,
I wish that there was more like good leading up to when they perform their first and only good heist.
yeah, right? And it just felt like the turn for Snake being good, or doing that selfless act of giving Shark his last push pop, came out of frickin' nowhere.
Yeah, it did. Is it just me, or did you want to push pop after watching this movie?
Dude, I was eating a frickin' popsicle.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. I didn't have any popsicles in the house, and I was kind of sad. I was so tempted to drive to Walmart or even my work and just go buy one. But I resisted, and I was proud of myself.
But yeah, so it's just like they focus so much on Wolf's turn to goodness that they just kind of sidelined everyone else's. So when everyone else turned over to the good side, it was like, okay, what?
Like, literally the only thing that we're given is to why they're like, oh yeah, let's be good, is that they get that like feeling of Wolf bringing up like, oh, like my tail started wagging, like I felt like, as he put, a good boy. And so they all get that feeling except for Snake. Mr. Snake is the only one that doesn't get it. But I don't know about
Supposedly, he did actually have it in the elevator.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, thank you. But I don't know about you. Maybe it's just me, but if I was a bad guy for that long, it would take more than that for me to be like, oh yeah, I want to be good now.
Yeah, right? And it's just... That's honestly where it fell short. Like, and I think that's more of a writing issue than anything.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that, but... No, sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was just going to say, like, I kind of... I really, and this is, I feel like a writing thing too, especially like with character writing. I really I get that they really just wanted to focus on Wolf and a little bit on Snake when it came to the character writing, but honestly, like, I would have loved to have so much more character arc for like Mr. Piranha, Mr. Shark, and was it Miss Spider or Miss Web? Or no, Miss Tarantula.
Yeah, Tarantula.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we got good stuff from them, but like, I would have just wanted a little more. I get that they're the side characters of the bad guys, but I don't know. I think the fact that like they turn over so fast, I feel if we would have gotten a little more from them, from the rest of the movie when it leads up to the ending of that, I feel the whole like switch that fast would have been a lot less of a blow.
Right. Well, it's also the fact that the only people in that group to do a selfless act other than the team as a whole was frickin' Snake and Wolf.
Yeah, that's true. The other three didn't.
Like, they gave the push pop, or Snake gave the push pop to Shark, and then suddenly everyone's tail is wagging. Like, you guys didn't do anything. You watched a good act be done.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
So it's like
as much as you think it does.
I would have really liked maybe more individual goodness training for them.
Yes.
And then them just agree. Like, and then seeing that they're just kind of like denying that goodness, or kind of like having that moment of like, oh, like, hey, that felt good, but then like, no, we're bad guys, and kind of want like showing that they're having that struggle where they're just like, hey, but no.
Yeah. I will say though, DreamWorks does get some points in my book. I know this is based off a book or a series of books, but ever since I was a kid, I always loved the villain more than the hero. I don't know what it is. So whenever, even like as a grown adult, whenever I see like any studio take on giving the villain an actual character arc and like just seeing them grow throughout the movie. I freaking love it. Like, I might have had some problems with the story, but I still enjoy where they actually take the villains and what they do with the character arc, and just the characters in general. So I would, if like my biggest positive is to say with this movie is kudos to DreamWorks for being able to pull this off pretty well.
Yeah, they do a decent job. It's just not. It's just pacing, really, and just like all. I think I'm gonna be grading the writing portion a little harsher. But it's just with flow and everything. It's just that goodness training that I thought was going to be for like a while ended up being like what, a weekend?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to try and rehabilitate someone in a weekend? Like, what the shit is that? Like, you can do goodness training and make it last a while if you want it to.
Yeah. I don't think the chief of police would give you a thumbs up if you came to him. You're just like, oh, hey, look, we cured them in a weekend. It was that easy. Yeah, no.
Yeah, freaking bullshit. But yeah, so it was weird because it was like super fast paced in the beginning, where it was like everything in the beginning. Like, you get the introduction to the team. They're performing a heist, or they're in the middle of the heist, and then they get home, kind of have their like your little calm down moment, and then they get called out, and it's just like, all right, now we're gonna go do this other heist, and that heist goes on for a little too long.
Fair.
And then it's like goodness training for like a short little bit, but somehow it feels like really long.
I feel maybe like the reason why they kept it so short is when it came to like the next event of them being good, like they never were actually going to, like they were pretending the whole time, so maybe that's why.
That's where I feel like you could have had more of them struggling with it. Like struggling with the goodness. Then you could have done more of a like the training montage where they're trying to deny it.
Ooh.
And then that way when it like comes down to it, and then they're like, okay, yeah, now we're doing it. Then that would make more sense for like Wolf and all of them to like struggle pulling off this heist that they kind of don't want to pull off. And all this other shit, and then it's like, oh, and then suddenly they're framed for this stuff, and it's just kind of like, I don't think you guys did this good enough.
Yeah.
So,
freaking the opening heist, oh my god, I freaking loved it.
Yeah, that was great. That was like so much fun and like such a good introduction to the team.
It was, that opening with Wolf and Snake, literally just sitting at a restaurant, and then it pulls out to like literally everyone just like huddled up against the wall, like terrified for their lives.
Dude, that was hilarious.
But yeah,
it kind of gave me I don't know why, but Pulp Fiction vibes.
Ooh, yeah. I can absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, like I thought that was super fun. Like a really good just introduction to everyone and how everyone feels. Like all that stuff was done so well. It's just as the movie went on, it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And then it picked up really good at the end, which is it's just like everything in the middle was just kind of, it felt like a mixture of just bad pacing, bad storytelling, and then bad just everything else.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So it's just not the biggest fan of that, but story overall, I think they did pretty good. So I think I'm in like the low 80s. Maybe 81.
I think I'm going to go a little higher than you. I'm going to go an 80. I'll go an 83.
That's fair. Alright, so that averages us out to an 82 for story. Next up, writing. This one I'm low. It's just...
Yeah, same.
It's not
it's
good.
The character writing for me. That's
the dialogue's not bad. The dialogue is not horrible. It's just like you try to pull the whole Ocean's 11 thing, and the Ocean's 11 thing was like good, but you had like way too much like betrayal and double crosses, and you're just like, gosh, just freaking come on.
And I'm sorry to say, you can spoiler alert. We already read the spoiler. You can see the villain reveal coming from a mile away.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, come on. Like, you guys didn't even try to hide it.
No, you did not.
Like, shit. Writing.
I was gonna say, did I just knock you lower?
No, like, I was already pretty freaking low.
Shit.
I'm not, like, ridiculously low, but I'm low. It's just... I don't know. It's like, the conversations that they had, like, there were very few conversations that everyone was having that felt like they went together. It almost feels like they recorded this separately from each other.
They actually did.
Did they really? It shows.
A lot of
it absolutely
a lot of the voice.
Shows.
Yeah, a lot of the audio was done remotely because this was made during COVID, or like the big part of COVID.
Okay, and that's more of an acting issue.
Here, I just want to make sure that I'm saying that right.
Yeah, but it totally feels like that. It's like nothing quite flows really well, and it's just some of the dialogue was just kind of like off.
Yeah, it straight up says on their Wikipedia, voice acting was done remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, we'll get into that. But
it sounded good. At least there's that.
Yeah. It's just, it's interesting that this is a book adaptation. I actually looked it up. The guy who directed this has never directed anything else. He is really? He's an animator.
Okay, so it's kind of like what Pixar does with a lot of their animators. They give them their first time directing. Like the guy that directed Lightyear, that was his first movie.
Yeah, so it was just, he did a couple shorts, and then he animated this. And his next project is also going to be a short. But you can, like, knowing that information, it does, like, really stick out. The writing was just kind of weak, and obviously, spoiler alert, the animation on this was really freaking good.
Yeah. Like, it had, like, a bit of, like, stylistic, but also still, like, the classic DreamWorks animation that we're used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I loved.
So, unfortunately, it's just writing is where this fell apart.
Yeah, I can. What I really, I mean, I feel it might be weird if I, went to like Barnes and Noble and like picked up the actual like books on this movie or books that the movie is based off of. But I want to know is if in the books, Mr. Shark, Mrs. Tarantula, and Mr. Piranha if they have like a little more character writing in those, like.
Well, this being a whole series of books, I would imagine so.
That's true. So maybe we'll get a sequel, and they'll be
I
more
doubt it.
prominent?
I highly doubt it.
I mean, it made decent at the box office.
Did it?
Maybe not. It like the budget was $90 million, and I think the box office was like $242 million.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
Yeah. Here, let me double check that.
Anyway, for my writing score though, I think I'm sitting at like a solid 70.
See, I'm still like I'm a little higher. I feel with this I'm like in almost every category. I don't know why. I feel like I'm just gonna be like slightly higher than you, because yeah, I'm gonna actually go 75.
That's fair. So that averages out to a 72.5. All right, next up we got acting, which we have a freaking killer cast.
Yeah, dude, straight up.
Yeah, so first off, playing Mr. Wolf, we have Sam Rockwell. Playing Mr. Snake, we have Mark Maron. Miss Tarantula, played by Aquafina. Mr. Shark, played by Craig Robinson. Mr. Piranha, voiced by Anthony Ramos. Ramos. And then I'm going to say Professor Marmalade was voiced by Richard Ayoade.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say his name.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah, and then just because she was a pretty decent part of it too, Diane Foxington, or the Crimson Paw, was voiced by Zazie Beetz, which I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, that's exactly who I thought it was. It's Domino from Deadpool 2.
Oh, nice. Wasn't she in another thing too that we saw? Oh yeah, Joker. That's what it was.
Oh
Played
yeah,
yeah.
I completely forgot about that one.
I did too. Yeah, the next door neighbor.
Yep. All right. So who's in your top 3?
All right. Number 3, Anthony Ramos as Mr. Piranha. I had no idea that this was right. He was so good. I had no idea this was Anthony Ramos. Freaking
dude, right?
The guy that was in the Heights. That's so cool. I hope he continues to get work, because the guy's a really good actor.
Dude, he's a great actor. He's a good voice actor.
Yeah, he did it for like how crazy he had to be with Mr. Piranha. He did a great job. Number 2, I would give to Mark Maron, who played Mr. Snake. Wonderful performance. Had a great time with his character. And then number 1, definitely Sam Rockwell as Mr. Wolf. Amazing job. Like, honest. I love Sam Rockwell in anything. Like, even if it's a complete shitty movie, he saves that movie because he's such a great actor, and he's actually a very good voiceover artist.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he killed it as Mr. Wolf, and I loved listening to him portray this character. So that's my top 3.
Yeah, so I have the same number 1 as you, with Sam Rockwell.
Nice.
But you're absolutely right. There's a movie, I forget what it's called. I'm pretty sure it was on Netflix, but he was playing some like hitman guy that was super into jeez, I just forgot her name.
Oh, isn't it like Mr. Right with Anna Kendrick?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
And that movie was garbage. But he was awesome. Yeah, so he's my number 1. Like you said, great voice actor. Great voice acting. I'm actually going to give my number 2 to Anthony Ramos. His Mr. Piranha was so good. Like, I have a hard time with characters that are like super hyperactive, like exactly like how Mr. Piranha is, but it's just the way that he was able to like chill out every once in a while kind of made him a little bit easier to swallow.
Yeah, I feel it's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah, like it just he calmed down long enough for me to be like, okay, and just kind of catch my breath from him. Whereas other like crazy characters like just are on the entire time and it's annoying. But he did a great job. And then I'm going to give number 3 to I think I'm going to give it to Richard Ayoade,
Excellent choice.
who voiced Professor Marmalade. He had the perfect voice for this complete and utter suck up.
Right? Like, oh my god, it was perfect. When I think of like snotty, not snotty, but yeah, just a hamster that is an absolute kiss up. Yeah, this is definitely a voice that I could hear coming from it.
Dude, he was so good, and when he switched it, like it's like he was effortless when he switched into villain mode. It was so good. Like I knew he was coming, and I'm just like, okay. Like you said, we knew he was going to be the villain, but once he made that turn, it was incredible. It was incredible to witness, just because it's like I don't know what he did with his voice. If he did anything, it might have just been the animation, just kind of playing it up. But the way when he switched into villain mode, I was just like I'm sold, like absolutely sold.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's because he's not a very good villain or good guy voice, or if he's just like, I don't know what it is about his voice, but he sold both sides of that coin so well. Like he almost had me questioning it in the end when I'm like, is he going to be the villain? And then he switched. I'm like, yes, he is.
I felt a hard thing to do, so kudos to Richard Ayoade.
Yeah. So loved it. Loved it. Yeah. So for the main team, so with Wolf, Snake, and Piranha, I was pretty high on my scores. And Marmalade. For Tarantula, Shark, and the Crimson Paw, I was a little bit lower.
That's fair.
And then the extras were just eh.
Yeah, they didn't really do that much. I feel if I feel out of like the bad guys, and this is nothing against Aquafina, but I feel that Miss Tarantula is probably my when it comes to voices, probably my least favorite. And it's not like I said, it's nothing against Aquafina. It's just all I could hear was Aquafina. I really didn't hear the character. And maybe it's just because I'm just so used to Aquafina's voice and the way that she shouts, and so. Like,
you know what? I don't know if that was like I understand where you're coming from. I don't know if that's the problem though. Like, go with me here. Like,
okay,
I might be completely wrong here, because again, like Tarantula out of the bad guys team is lowest for me. But I think the reason she's lowest for me, because I love Aquafina. But
I do too.
The reason I think she's so low is because they kind of played her off as the straight man. Like, she didn't really make a lot of jokes. Or there wasn't a whole lot of humor to Tarantula's character.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah. Caleb solved it. That's why. Shit, okay. Yeah, it's nothing against Aquafina. Well, I
Yeah.
said there was nothing against Aquafina. Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, that's purely a writing issue there. Um,
We love you, Aquafina.
hell yeah. Acting, I'm a little high. I'm not super high on acting. Because I think, even though I thought they did really well, I think my highest score was like in the 87 range.
Okay.
But that's like the top. So that's like Sam Rockwell and Snake and all of them. Everyone else, bringing it down just a hair, I think I'm at 80.
I was at the same score.
Really?
Yep.
Love it.
Perfect.
Alright, so that averages us out to an 80 for acting. Moving on over to character development. Again, this is where it had issues. Like, the arc overall, like, if you think beginning to end, and only those two, the arc's good. It goes from bad guy to good guy. The issue's in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do just one character because, like, you could do Wolf and have it be like, oh, this is like a great arc. You get to see all of his progression and whatnot. But I think with this being what it is with the team, you kind of have to score the whole team.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, this has to be a team effort.
Yeah. And with Wolf you get to see like a pretty decent arc. Like him alone, I'd be in like 88, 89 range. Because I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You get to see him kind of struggle with the idea of being good. And like all that fun stuff. But where it starts to fall apart is the rest of the team. Snake is just constantly trying to deny goodness. The rest of the team aren't super for it, and you don't really get to see them struggle with that conflict of being good versus bad. You just see them witness something good happening, and then they kind of have like secondhand like ooh, and then they're suddenly like, yeah, we're full team good now, and you're like,
Are you though?
like not really about that, dude.
Yeah.
So with them, it's just like it's seriously black and white. Like it just suddenly like switch flips, and suddenly they're on the side of good. At least with Snake, you kind of got to see him like. I mean, you can argue that the same thing happened with him, that it was like sudden switch flip for him, but because of the whole like trying to betray Marmalade and everything, which pretty decent, but
Oh yeah.
still you don't get to see like that struggle of goodness. He's super against being good because he's like so worried about how people will perceive him.
Yeah.
Or not, or he's afraid that people won't perceive him as good no matter what he does.
Yeah, he feels that people will never change their mind. That's what they've always seen him as, and that's what they always will see him as.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just interesting because like the rest of the team, they never had that struggle. You never see that. Even in that moment where they were receiving the reward, or not the golden dolphin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they were getting their accolades for that, you saw Wolf was like, oh wow, they finally see us as good guys. You didn't get to see that from anyone else. They were all like looking at Wolf like, hey, you gonna freaking do this?
Yeah, it's true.
And then it's like they're showing their frustration with Wolf. And it's just, not great.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I think the rest of the team freaking drags them down.
Pretty bad.
So for that, I think I'm in like 77 range. Like I said, Wolf alone, mid to high 80s. But the rest of the team just like drag him down like a freaking anchor.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to give it 1 point higher at a 78. Wolf just boosted me up just 1 point.
Alright, so that averages character development to a 77.5. Alright, next up we got effects, which in this instance is going to be animation. Amazing animation.
Yeah. I mean, usually DreamWorks always does a great job with their animation. But yeah, they honestly outdid themselves with this one.
I agree. I love how this kind of had like a comic book feel to it.
It did. Yeah, I was trying to put my finger on how best to explain it, but yeah, that's perfect right there.
Yeah, it kind of gave me Into the Spider-Verse and like the Mitchells versus the Machines vibes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like where they were putting the cartoon like black outlines, and it's just, but the expressions too, they were able to show really well. It almost kind of had like anime feel to it too, like a little bit of everything.
So are you a fan of the direction that DreamWorks is going like this with their animated films, like keeping it like the same animation they had, but like also like adding a little more stylistic to it?
I love that. Like I love
that's what
how
they're doing with Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
too.
I love how Puss in Boots looks. Like the trailer that I think there's only one trailer for that right now, right?
No, there's two.
There's two? Okay, I've only seen the first one. But I love it.
Doesn't really give you that much, but it's still a good trailer.
Yeah. I love the stylized looks. I don't know if you've ever seen the Spark shorts on Disney Plus.
No, I have not.
So those are awesome. Those are like pure stylization. It's classic Disney animation, but with like stylized in different ways. Like there's one where they, like, I would love to see a whole movie done like this, but it's 3D animation, but they're colored in with comic book dots.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they play around with that a lot. It is so good. I'll see if I can find the name of it for you. But
yeah, please.
I love the stylized. Like it's something a little bit more intriguing to look at rather than just a 3D model kind of just doing whatever.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Like I love harsh. Like I think I'm more of a fan of 2D animation than I am 3D animation.
That's fair. I will fully admit, considering the Bob, it's not the movie we're talking about, but considering that the Bob's Burgers movie was the first 2D animated film, hand-drawn animated film, whatever you want to call it, that we've seen in years. Like, hasn't it been like since The Princess and the Frog? Wasn't that the last?
Ooh, it's been
hand-drawn?
A while.
But yeah, the fact that was like the first one we've had in so long, that movie's great, but that just made that movie even more special.
Oh
because
yeah,
I truly miss seeing that.
Yeah, there's just something about it, like I don't know, and that's kind of where the vibes I got with this movie. It felt like it could have been 2D.
I honestly would have loved to. Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Considering that this is, like taking, like the Big Bad Wolf from, classic stories, I think that honestly could have worked in its favor.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. This is why I want to do, come December, I want to break down Claws on Netflix.
Yes.
Because have you seen that yet?
I haven't yet.
I want you to see that one. I love that animation style. And it's 2-dimensional with some 3D I forget the term for it. It's mostly 2D with some 3D assets thrown into it. Some, not very many.
Okay.
And I think it's just for reference for the 2D animators to use. Like that's
okay.
the only reason that they use it. So I love it. I love that animation style. Like I said, very, very into the 2D animation style over 3D.
Yeah.
But yeah, I freaking love this stuff. This, like, the animation that they were able to do with this.
It looks so good. So good.
Yeah, it just kind of had a feel for everything. It kind of had, like, a comic book feel, a little bit of an anime or manga feel. Like, it just kind of, like, a little spice of everything. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, if this is what I view now as, like, the Dreamwork style.
Yeah, and if they continue, then kudos to them, because I think that they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, like, even with the I know that it's, like, the newest movie with the Minions. I don't view the Minion. It's hard for me to remember that the Minions is. Oh wait, that's not DreamWorks.
No, Minions is Illumination.
That's right. Yeah, so now I feel like Disney has a very distinct style, and now I think DreamWorks has found theirs.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah. So this one, kind of hard for me to give it super low. So I'm not going to. I'm going pretty freaking high.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go 95.
I will actually go a little higher than you and go to a 97.
Love it.
Alright, so that averages us out to a 96. Alright, next up we got music, which I do not remember the music that well.
Yeah, I don't remember, honestly, anything. I mean, they had, like, like car chase music during the car chases. But that's just, like hyped up music.
Yeah, there wasn't anything too special about this. It did what it was supposed to. I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you all hyped up, so I'm
on like a 7.
You're at a 7? I was leaning more towards a 6, but I can meet you at 7.
I mean, I can be talking to a 6.
You could be talked down to a 6?
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna get. You know what? I think it deserves a 6 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going 6. It was good. It was good. That's all that can. Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah. Yeah. But in a good way, not like it's like, oh, it
Yeah.
did its job, but it was shitty.
It accompanied the scenes in the way that it was supposed to, but
There
in the
we
end,
go.
there wasn't anything like outstanding and no super catchy tune or whatever, which I feel this could have used.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry to say, how did they not use Bad to the Bone, like, at some point?
Oh my gosh, right?
Like,
Dude,
how?
that easily would have bumped this up to an 8.
Yes, yeah. Like, literally, as they're, like, leaving the gala, after they, like, after they've, like, successfully taken the dolphin, literally, they could just be playing that. Like, work it in some way when they're just walking off altogether. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, that would have been great. Shit. Well, that
Pretty
sucks.
much, you missed a huge opportunity.
I know. Wish
Such a
we would
great
have
song,
could
and
have
it would've
gotten
fit
that.
perfectly. Yeah.
All right, so 6 it is. All right, next up we got costumes, which for this is more character design.
And I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I did too. I had close to no issues. I thought that, and this is something that I'm like boosting my score for, the way that they were able to utilize Mr. Snake was extremely creative.
Right. Holy shit, that was so cool.
Yeah, like you almost the way that they animated him almost made up for the fact that he doesn't have hands, because he was using his tail and his body in like a bunch of different ways to grab stuff, or like what they were able to do a fist bump with his tail. I mean, come on. Like that was just pure perfection.
Yeah.
I
I freaking loved the addition that Mr. Shark wore a shark tooth necklace.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
I loved that.
Yeah, honestly, all the outfits that everyone wore, like I really liked those. The only one that I wasn't the biggest fan of was Mr. Wolf's, when he was wearing like the black jumpsuit.
Yeah, he should stick with a suit.
Yeah, I think that he need, if he was going to wear something like that, he needed a hood, like Crimson Paw did, or just something that didn't feel like it was like squeezing his head and making him look super goofy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Like, because he just puts off this personality that he's like, oh, super suave and all this other cool stuff, but it's just that didn't track.
Yeah, it did not.
Yeah, everyone else looked really good. I my personal favorite is Mr. Piranha.
Same here. Mr. Piranha was my favorite too.
Like, I love that he's just kind of like this tiny, like, what do you call it? Like a bouncer type. Like he has like the little overalls and everything with like a white button down that's kind of opened up really wide. Like, I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah, Shark was super good. Tarantula was aight.
I mean, yeah, I would agree, but I love how you put it like that. She's aight.
Yeah, and yeah, everyone else was pretty decent.
Yeah. I loved Mr. Marmalade's outfits and his
Oh my
design.
gosh, right?
So good.
Yeah, and the silhouette here too. Like I said, a good character design or costume or whatever leaves a good silhouette. This has an amazing one. Absolutely. Like, if you were to just black out all of these characters, like, you would know exactly who they are.
Oh yeah, easy.
So that bumps my score up a little bit too. So where are you at?
No, honestly, I'm at a 9.
I was at like a soft 9, maybe like a really strong 8, but I'll give you 9. All right, so we got 9 for costumes. All right, last one, personal score.
Do you want me to go first?
Whichever.
I can start.
Okay.
I feel we're like always bad of being like, oh hey, who wants to start? But overall, this is a very enjoyable DreamWorks movie. I will say it doesn't reach the levels of like dealing with a bad guy's redemption arc as well as Megamind did. When it comes to redemptive bad guy arcs, I feel Megamind does stand taller than the bad guys, but that doesn't take away at all from this movie because it still is a very enjoyable Ocean's 11 movie for kids, like Caleb put it, and that's the perfect way to put it. All the bad guys are great. Had a blast watching them on screen. And the supporting characters are pretty good too. Yeah, I had a pretty good time with this movie. So I would say I'm gonna go an 85.
Nice. I also had a fairly good time with this movie. I think there was a good portion in the middle where I catched myself dozing off. It just had a really difficult time keeping my attention until it picked up on the action again.
That's fair.
And it, like, once they got back into that, they had these like gags that they were doing. Like, I loved how they were like racing out of Marmalade's place, but then they stopped to get the cat. And then it was just like, come here. And then they caught it and they're like, all right. And then like down, like, I love shit like that. And so all of that stuff was great. It's just the middle is where it lost me. And like I said, I had some major issues with like the writing and how everything was kind of just super overcomplicated. Like, this would be a really hard movie, I feel, for a kid to grasp. Like, it's just like, wait, I thought he was a bad guy. Oh, I thought he was a good... Like, it just gets... I think it'd be super confusing to follow. Which I'm not docking for at all. It's just a point I'm bringing up. It just, for me, wasn't my favorite, but I still had a good time. So I am actually sitting in like 78 range.
Okay.
Like, it's at a level where I would watch it again. Like, no problems. But it'd have to be like special circumstances or something.
Okay, fair enough.
But alright, so that concludes this week's breakdown of the bad guys, and the final All Bros letter grade for the bad guys has come to a B-.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. It's actually a little higher than I thought it was going to get.
Oh, did you think it was going to score in the C range?
I thought it was going to get like a C+. Like, that's
Okay.
that's where I thought it was going to get, but it scored pretty decent into the B- range.
Nice.
So let me pull those up real quick. All right, so it is sitting at an 81.81%.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad. So that puts it above Holiday in Handcuffs, which is at an 81.78. It puts it above Birds of Prey, which is at an 81.75.
All right.
Puts it
also a team movie. Sorry.
Yeah, right? Puts it above The Matrix Reloaded, which is at an 81.66. Puts it above Late Night, which is at an 81.37. And then puts it above Deadpool 2, which is at an 81.08.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to catch some shit for that.
Probably.
But it puts it below Being the Ricardos, which is at an 81.87. This is not one that we have an episode on, so don't feel like you have to go back and find it. Let's see.
You go watch that movie, because it's great.
Yeah. It's below Spiral, which is at an 81.93. It's below The War with Grandpa. That one's actually surprising to me, which is at an 81.93. Oh, wait, these are all 81.93. So we have 3 81.93s.
Oh, shit.
So it's below Spiral, The War with Grandpa, and Rogue One, which are all 81.93.
Honestly, now, if we were to go back and like re-rank Rogue One, I might even rank it higher than that.
We'll have to go back and look at the scores for that one, because that one was pretty good. And then last up, it's below It Chapter 2, which is at an 81.95.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So, yeah, that's where it's at.
Sweet. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode and love listening to our amazing voices, because we know that we have such amazing voices, and, nobody wants to stop listening to us. And you know what? We really can't blame you. But if you guys, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this episode and want to listen to more, be sure to check us out wherever you listen to podcasts. We are damn near everywhere. We are at Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Republic. No, did I just say Radio Republic?
Radio Republic? That actually sounds super dope.
I think that's isn't that a movie?
Don't know.
I can't remember now. But yeah, that's where you can find us. If you can't find us where you listen to podcasts, well then I'm sorry, you're listening to the wrong place. Because if you can't find us, then we have a problem.
Yep.
If you want to be able to contact us, be able to answer our questions of the week, recommend movies to us, you can do so at our social medias. We got facebook.com/The Allbros, Twitter and Instagram at The Allbros, as well as TikTok at The Allbros, where we are actually I feel we are doing a very good job with keeping up with TikTok.
We're posting weekly, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I feel TikTok and Instagram are definitely the two that we strive to make sure that we stay ahead on. And then if you would prefer to email us, if that's your preferred way to get in contact with us, you can do so at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. If you want to check out our website, tinyurl.com/The Allbros, get to know us a little bit more, you can do that. Where you can, and also there, you can get your own Allbros design, basically let us know which Allbros design that you would like, because when it comes to TeePublic, they like to not TeePublic themselves, but studios like to take down stuff that Caleb literally made by hand, and it's not copyright at all. He didn't take anything, so studios are just being assholes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Can you tell I'm bitter about it?
You know what? I don't blame you. Next week on the podcast, we'll be breaking down. I already forgot the name. What's it called again?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Thank you. Or as some will say, the newest Nicolas Cage movie.
Yep.
So, you guys can look forward to that next week. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we will see you guys next week. So long.
Deuces.